So guys, after Wike came out to describe Fubara as green snake in green grass, guess what? This man has actually come out to say that he is the one that really possesses, the characteristics of green snakes in green grass. Because, going by the characters and the behaviors he has been exhibiting lately, there is no way that description will not fit him better. So, guys, we all know what has been going on in Rivers State. I tell you, this man is here to speak to so many facts. And also he's saying that there is no way the appeal court or the judgment, those that Wike boast by, because he said they've assembled the best of judges. Possibly we are not even expecting fair judgment in this case. But this man is like saying that there is no way, a new election will not be conducted because these people actually decamped. And he has said so many things about Wike. Just take your time and listen for yourself. Honestly, I don't know why the leaders in Nigeria are so desperate. Why not just allow Rivers State to be? Even if your structures have been destroyed like you claim, why not leave it until your suitable candidate takes over the state? Then the person will restore your structures that you say that is why you are fighting for Para, because he has destroyed your structure. So guys, just take your time and watch this video for yourself and see what this man has got to say. Take a look.
The people of Rivers State has moved on. They are very happy with the developmental strides of the governor of Rivers State. What is there to the people is issues of development, issues of welfare, issues of security. That is what Rivers people are about. It's not about the committee of friends having a lunch somewhere and discussing issues. It is about the people of Rivers State. Good governance. That is what they are talking about. Now, I listened keenly to certain statements that were arrogated to the FCT minister, with all due respect to him. And he did mention that the governor of Rivers State is a green snake in the green grass. That assertion seems demeaning of anybody as a human. You don't relate humans to animals. And besides that, if we want to talk about the characteristics of green snakes, who actually has that characteristics? Is this somebody who had betrayed somebody that made him local government chairman, Senator Mbata? Is this somebody that has betrayed the former governor of Rivers State, Sir Peter Odili, who actually helped him to run as chairman of twice? Is this somebody who betrayed the former minister, Rotimi Amechi, who appointed him as chief of staff and also nominated him as the minister? Is this somebody who has betrayed the former president of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and his wife, who actually appointed him as minister and even made him a substantive minister and later supported him to become governor of Rivers State? Is this somebody who has gone beyond that to betray the governor of Rivers State, Similaye Fubara, who sacrificed his professional career to help him, even when he was declared wanted by EFCC because of the same Wike? Who is really the green grass and green snake? Let him mention one person, just one person that Similaye Fubara has betrayed before. But we have series of persons that can come out to say Wike has betrayed. Didn't he even betray PDP in the last election? So when you talk about the green snake, it's somebody that is cunning, somebody that cannot stand out for the truth. But Rivers people are beyond that, because the section 109 sub G states it very clearly. Those committee of friends he was having a lunch with, Rivers people see them as former assembly members. They are only waiting for INEC to do the needful to come and conduct elections to fill on those 25 seats that are vacant in the assembly. So we've moved beyond that level. The elections that held in Rivers State was one of the freest and fairest local government elections ever. Can't we just copy? Can't these political gladiators copy from what is happening in Akwa Ibom, where the Senate president went to vote in his local government, in a local government election? So what is different about Rivers State? So I don't see us as disturbing ourselves with what somebody says while having lunch with his friends. We are here for good governance, and that is it. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has tried to intervene in this matter. Wike is an appointee of Mr. President. He should respect the president's decision on this matter, that all parties should calm down, there should be no issues any longer, and good governance should go on in River State. That is what we keep asking for, and not all these distractions, trying to distract the governor. The governor is very busy. Look at, in the whole federation, it is only the River State governor and the Lagos State governor that have agreed to pay up to 85,000 naira to civil servants. Is that not commendable? Is that somebody that looks like a green snake? So, you see, I feel very worried when political leaders we are look up to belittle themselves to start to talk about petty things that don't really add value to the common man.
Now, talking about, betraying the PDP, the FCT minister said that he has no regrets, supporting the opposition at that time, and that he believes that he's been fighting for justice and for equity. And he also promised that he will continue to be problematic, towards all his political enemies. What do you make of that statement? What does that mean for the people of Rivers State, saying as he remains defiant that the structure that he said he has put in place will not be dismantled?
Well, it's most unfortunate if he actually said that, because if you look at what is happening in Akwa Ibom State, for instance, from the time of Atta, the governor, it now went over to Akpabio. After Akpabio, Udom came, and now you have this the current governor. You can see the developmental strides of that state. The master plan for Akwa Ibom was set up by Atta. Akpabio came and implemented it. And even if they don't agree politically, but when it comes to issues of development, they try to attract things to their state and continue that developmental pace. They don't say that they will cause problem, they will cause distraction, they will cause chaos in their states. And this is the kind of politics we are supposed to be playing as a people, as Rivers people. I feel ashamed that those who call themselves leaders will sit down, fold their hands, and be clapping for one side or the other side, and arrange people to sit down, wear uniform, come together on television, and start throwing insults on people. Is that what we want in River State? I expect the FCT minister to attract something to River State. That is what I expect him to do, and not to be saying that, creating political enemies and causing all this drama. It is uncalled for. Wike is somebody that we respected so much. When he was governor in the state, we respected. We all supported him. Now he brought this governor. And now the governor is serving the people. And let us not forget that River State is a multi-ethnic state. Now, the governor is from the Ijaw extraction. What do you have to say that an Ikwere minister wants to remove an Ijaw governor after Ikwere have done 16 years for governor without and had the cooperation of all other ethnic minorities in the state? So I don't see this as something that puts food on the table. The governor is very busy in trying to ensure that development goes ahead in River State. He's being distracted with all this political drama. And the governor did say in the last television appearance he made, he said that there is no price he cannot pay for peace in the state, because this was setting back the hands of development in River State. So this is what we should be looking at. And I call on Mr. President to call his minister to order, because we are tired of this distraction. He says he's waiting for the Supreme Court to speak. Yes, let all of us wait for the Supreme Court to speak. The Supreme Court knows that the sections of the law, 109 sub G, is very explicit. As long as there was no crisis at the time this man defected. So it means that their seats are vacant. And that's what the Constitution says. The Constitution is the law, is the grand norm. So I don't know what you're talking about, that the governor withdrew a case to present budget that he took to court. Because the president ordered that those cases should be withdrawn from court. And because of that, you have an appeal judgment that says you have withdrawn your case, so you cannot be a party in this suit. So therefore, the other party won at the appeal. And you start celebrating, start calling a dinner, banquet, and doing this and that. It's uncalled for. It's demeaning for us as Rivers people. So I don't see this as anything that moves the state forward. What we should be focused on, how do we put food on the table of the people? Look at Nigerians are suffering. And the president is busy trying his very best to reform the economy. Traveling from here to there, try to woo investors, try to ensure that we can pay our debts, we can get more loans and all that. Meanwhile, his minister is busy causing problem in the state that brings the highest revenue to Nigeria, causing chaos here. If not for the peaceful disposition of the governor of the state, by now the Niger Delta would have been on fire. But the governor says no. we must embrace peace. We must respect Mr. President. And that is why it looks as if the governor is weak, because he has decided to embrace peace. But he should not take his weakness or the silence or his peaceful nature for granted, because Rivers people are ready and they are standing with the governor. So I don't think there's anything Mr. Wike and his friends will do to Fubara. Fubara is the governor of the state, he's the political leader of the state, and until he finishes his tenure, the mandate that was given to him by Rivers people, there is no minister or any dance or any lunch or any dinner or any banquet or any TV program that will remove him from power.
All right, what do you make of the statement by the former governor and the minister of the FCT talking about Nyesom Wike, who says former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is a failure, and also says Nigerians have rejected him time and time again in the polls?
Well, you see, these days, we don't spend money to watch comedy skits these days. Because, you see, when politicians who are leaders will start giving us comedy show, we know we used to have Agodai, AY, and the rest, and we pay money to go and watch this. But these days, we don't patronize them any longer. Because we just sit down, watch the television, and see one political leader trying to amuse us with some rhetorics that doesn't make any sense to the common man and doesn't add value to the politics, or does not improve the democracy we all fought for. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu fought tirelessly when he was in trenches with Nadeko to sustain. Saying that Atiku is a failure, or this man is a failure or not failure, I can't speak on behalf of Atiku. I did not support him in the last presidential election. Fubara did not support him in the last presidential election because we had an understanding, and Wike made us to believe that the presidency is supposed to come to the south, and because of that, we had a meeting and we all agreed that we are going to support a southern presidency. That is why you saw the number of votes that Ahmed Bola Tinubu got from Rivers State and the number of votes Peter Obi got also from Rivers State. Is because we decided as a people to support the southern votes. I can make it clear and I can say it clear, it's on record. INEC has the clear records. The president even knows that Wike's local government, Obiakpo, it was Peter Obi that won. But because I and the chief of staff and so many others of us, we went on a protest and we shut down INEC office for 1 month. We are protesting there. That no, the election was rigged, is not correct, until INEC had to change the will of the people at that level. So then he says that Atiku is a failure. What did he contribute to make sure Atiku was a failure? It's just rhetorics. I am not a fan of Atiku. I don't know him. But I can say clearly for one, it doesn't add value to democracy. He needs to tone down this politics of hate. Rivers and Nigeria needs leaders that can unite the people, leaders that can give succor to the people, leaders that can bring hope to the people, and not leaders that keep tearing down, destroying the foundation in which they all stand on. That is not the kind of leadership we expect from Nyesom Wike.
Now, back to the Rivers State, crisis. I would like you to assess the role that the judiciary has played so far in this crisis. In some instances, we've had conflicting court judgments. Sometimes we've seen a lack of adherence to judicial precedents, set by the Supreme Court. What does this say about our judiciary?
Well, for the judiciary, like they say, the judiciary is the last hope for the common man. I was not surprised, or I'm not surprised, because when it comes to politics, anything can go. And politicians are the problem, not the judiciary. They try to influence judicial officers at every level to do their bidding. They threaten them with subtle threats and even get them removed from different positions that they occupy in the judiciary. I think that it is time that the Nigerian Bar Association should start disciplining lawyers who come up with frivolous cases that are politically inclined. And judges, the National Judicial Council, should all start to discipline erring judges who give all sorts of frivolous judgments and orders just to please a political godfather or a political friend. So the judiciary is where all Nigerians hope to be, because the only custodian of the Constitution is the judiciary. They are the ones who are supposed to protect the Constitution and that foundation of which we stand on, being the grand norm. But where the judiciary fails to be the circle or the last hope for the common man, then Nigerians will be forced to take the law into their hands, and that is not what we want in this kind of situation where we are today. The people are already paid by the economic hardships. The Tinubu administration has tried to reform the economy by coming up with laudable policies that will help, but the teething period is still on, and Nigerians are feeling the bite. But when we see the affluence of some political leaders spending billions of dollars and naira, organizing parties just to talk down on one another, the common man starts wondering that, are we living in the same country with these people? That they can spend so much money just to come and make one or two statements, political statements, to throw a jab on this and throw a jab on that. That is, we have gone beyond this level. And I think that the judiciary and the security agents should be very professional in what they do to ensure that the politicians cannot not use them or use them for a ride. Because at the end of the day, justice, they say, is delayed, but it's never denied. Either you have it now or you have it in time to come. You will definitely face justice. Whatever you do definitely comes around. And this is what judicial officers should know. I have very big confidence in the judiciary. I have been a victim of judicial, judicial misrepresentation at a point, but it was corrected by the same judiciary. So I think that the judiciary, we can't lose hope with them, but we can only beg them and appeal to their conscience, because they are the custodians of this constitution we all hold as a grand norm.
But when you say this, you seem to be living at the politicians who themselves put the judiciary under pressure, immense pressure. Like what we're seeing playing out with the whole River State House of Assembly, and people saying that it is Victor Okojumbo that is in charge, and some are saying that no, that the weakest faction are saying no, we don't recognize him, and the rest of them. Is it not the politicians that are driving the judiciary to this particular point? Because 1 minute we are hearing that elections will hold, and before you could say Jack Robinson, literally, there are some politicians are gathering together and heading to other courts, be it the High Court or any court of competent jurisdiction, and are pressing on the judges to get judgment, to get any kind of judgment to probably stifle a political situation or probably beat it to submission to their own will.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. But there are people who cannot be bought on a pot of porridge. There are judicial officers who have a very high esteem and highly disciplined. It doesn't matter the pressure or the offer, they will stand by the law. And that is what judicial officers are known for. These judges are learned people. That is why they are called learned men. Because the greed between us as politicians or as ordinary Nigerians, we want to get it by all costs. It doesn't matter the cost. It doesn't matter who suffers at the end of the day. But if a judicial officer can stand and say, no, I'll do the right thing, no politician will put a gun to he or her head to say, look, you must do my bidding. It doesn't happen like that. It is only when that judicial officer himself or herself is corrupt and wants something, that is where they now bend the wheel of justice, which is not right. Take example from the doctors and the nurses. Do you give them money to try to save lives? The answer is no, because they are professional. They have to try to save the person. They don't know if the person is a criminal, if it's their brother, if it's their enemy. They don't care. Once the person comes into the emergency ward or the emergency room, the doctor, the first assignment is to try to save life. That is how we expect the judiciary and the judicial officers to also apply law, because they are seen as above this other cadre of humans. That's why they are called learned. And you know, whatever the Supreme Court says is final. The only person that can upturn what the Supreme Court says is God. So, and you say they are infallible. And for somebody to be infallible, the person must be extremely, extremely credible. And somebody that you can trust 100%. So, I don't want to put the blame on the judiciary. The politicians are to be blamed. But even at that, There are certain persons that have said, no, we cannot stand for injustice. And that is what we in Rivers State we are doing. And that is why we stood with the governor, despite all the offer, and despite all the intimidation, and despite all the blackmail. We are standing because we must stand for truth, justice, fairness, and equity.
Very well said, Ambassador Marvin Yubana, former Africa representative at the World Assembly of Youth. Thank you so much for joining us.
So guys, so many people have said that with the way Wike is going, he's not even helping himself. As in, Wike is not helping his health, he's not helping the image of his family, the image of especially his children. Because guess what? We are in a technology age where anything happening in Nigeria is being seen all over the world. No matter where their children are, we've heard that they are in the US, but no matter where they are, you know, they will be seeing all these things happening in Nigeria and their fathers being called out almost on a daily note. So guys, left for me, I would say that why not Wike just allow Fubara? He claimed that Fubara is destroying his structures. Allow Fubara to finish his tenure. The next election, you may decide to go for another candidate and let that candidate come and compete with Fubara. If the people of Rivers want your candidate, let them vote for your candidate. And then your candidate will restore your structures. You don't just keep destroying your state. You know, fighting Fubara is you destroying the people of Rivers. The people, you were their governor for 8 years. Even though, you know, your governance did not reflect in their lives because you didn't increase salaries, you didn't mind schools, you were busy building flyovers. You know, you have to invest in human capital development before all these infrastructures, but that we didn't see in Rivers State. All these things were just for show, to market yourself ahead of your desire to become the president of Nigeria. But now that it's like this, Fubara and you have parted ways. Why not just allow Fubara to have his peace and govern for at least for this first time? If you feel he's not suitable for that position, you bring another person. Now, if the Rivers people agree with you, what will happen? They will vote for that your candidate. But instead of causing all this uproar, all these ups and downs in the state, it's affecting the state. It's affecting the image of the state. Businesses cannot come in. Businesses that are there will even be afraid of, you know, a kind of executing some of the things they have to be executing because they cannot predict tomorrow in Rivers State. And that is why there is need for caution. I mean, these leaders, they should just, honestly, they should just do the right thing. Allow Rivers to be. Allow Rivers State to breathe. Just allow it, if not for any other thing, for the sake of, you know, Rivers being your state of origin. Allow it to be, because any little thing that affects it is going to affect you directly or indirectly. So guys, I don't know what you make of all this. Honestly, Wike should just shield his soul. He has advertised himself enough. I think Nigerians have got to know his kind of person, you know, his personality. So enough is enough. People have known him enough. Now, let him just allow Fubara to be. Just leave Fubara alone. Your lawmakers who have decamped, let Supreme Court rule. I know that Supreme Court must do the right thing because this judgment is going to determine so many things in the future. Don't just be doing things anyhow because it must suit the president, the current president. Anyway, Nigerians are watching. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Thank you.